One of the interesting arguments put forth by feminists and many women goes in roughly the following way. In case of some things, or almost all, men should defer to women. Women bring new perspective and have solutions that men do not. Women can solve wars, hunger, discrimination, problem of lust and sexualization, child abuse, and exploitation, and can even tame men. Historically, such beliefs have not been just held by feminists, but by conservatives, Christians, traditionalists, and even by some people in the radical groups like fascists or early communists. This argument is interestingly a mirror of the Christian reverence for Mother Mary. It is interesting that Mary forms this perfect archetype of a good woman. Her imagery is so fragile that it is never compromised. She is shown in the most possible modest clothing and is always in a state of display of motherhood. She is revered to such an extent that many in the Christian community believe that her adoration or worship has gone to a blasphemous and heretical level. Yet, even with such a pompous show, Mary has never been able to be a standard for women. Many women may borrow good values from her, may choose a path of modesty, chastity, and kindness, taking strength from her character. Yet she is never a standard, and she could not be. For no matter how holy and strong and pure Mary is shown to be, her story is always reinterpretable as a story of a woman who needs to be respected, and how, by her standard, other women should be respected as well. She has always been a bigger standard for how men should perceive women, and not how women should behave. In fact, this tendency is so strong that is even applied when women don't act like her. Hence, a woman in a skimpy outfit somehow deserves respect because Mary, who is never even shown to wear less immodest clothing like a skirt that ends just an inch above her knee, or a tank top, or a backless bridal dress, deserves respect. Or how Mary, who is probably a perpetual virgin, is a standard for how men should look at women who do lust and have sexual thoughts about different men. This may look bizarre, but you will not be surprised to know that many Christian women hardly follow Mary. She is not even a tenth of a standard compared to very fallible men like Addison, who became a symbol for persistence, even as his company electrocuted a baby elephant, or Napoleon, who despite his many flaws, including a failed love life, became a symbol of bravery. In each of these instances, men became a symbol to strive up to, while women, who may act good or strong, became a symbol of shame for men's evil. It is similar to the stature of female deities. God, if he exists, probably has no gender, so he can be shown as either a man or a woman. However, the cults, ideologies, or religions that worship the divine feminine often believe that the feminine takes vengeance against the wrongdoers, mostly male wrongdoers. She is personally wronged and she can be exploited. In fact, for example, the believers of some of the feminine cults show men exploiting earth as exploitation of the divine feminine. It is bizarre to believe that a mere mortal can exploit or abuse the divine feminine by cutting a tree, or hurling a slur at a woman, or sexualizing her in his mind. This idea follows from the belief that the superiority of a woman is not in the burden of her position, but in her value, which, if not given proper deference, leads to exploitation. Ultimately, even the divine feminine is below and is a victim of men. Then what to say of pure and perfect women, or impure and imperfect women? Women may be right, more skilled than men in many traits or actions, and may give better opinion. Accepting that is not deference, for it is just acceptance of what is true. However, deference to women in sense of assuming that they steer the ship is not just bad because it shows that men are weak. It is bad precisely because strong women are used to demand more protection for women, making this ideology a paradox. The feminine, even when stronger, seeks male power rather than provide it to him, and this is why all religions with emphasis on the divine feminine fail.